Ungdomsradio.
Hi everyone, this is Jonas Sings and I'm here with Sue Ballingle.
Hello again, everyone.
And today we have as guests Felix Everblue.
Hello. Hey.
Welcome, it's good to have you here. Felix Everblue is a band that combines tasteful rock and roll, in my opinion, with really good lyrics. And it tops it off with really good guitar solos. And that's just my opinion. They released an EP, 3 songs. And we are really excited to hear more about it. How did it all start?
Yeah, do you want to take that one?
Yeah, sure. Well, it started out actually by me and Alex meeting each other. We found each other through Facebook, through a post I made. And that's been like, I think, 3, 4
3.5 years.
Yeah, 3-4 years. So we've been playing like just the two of us for a while, and then we actually met our bass player. Amongst a lot of other musicians, he got chosen kind of, and later on Silas and our drummer Marcus joined in. So it's been a really cool journey, like having new people.
So
Yeah, and I gotta say it's been fun because I just joined this summer. I was at Northside Festival and I ran into the bass player and I briefly knew him from, well, drinking, to be honest. So like going out and stuff, and he asked me to be a part of this, and well, all of a sudden I was part of this band. I mean, I play guitar and I've been doing it for many years, but all of a sudden we're really doing this and we're getting somewhere.
Yeah. Isn't it how you get in a rock and roll band, like by drinking together and then you start playing?
That's about right.
It's definitely a good start, yeah.
Also through that a lot of hard work, I would say, because we've had a lot of different people in and tried out a lot of different drummers and guitarists, and it's a lot about what do you call it? If you get along with people, if you can actually be together besides the music as well.
And stand each other.
Yeah, the personalities definitely have to match. Like,
so that was a long journey, but finally we're here, and we've been a full band for almost like half a year now. Yeah, and it's great to finally be able to play 5 people.
Yeah, and to show everyone what we've been working on for the past like 3 to 4 years. Yeah,
Cool.
definitely.
So Matthias, you are the songwriter, and it was your kind of initial concept, the band.
Definitely.
So why Felix Everblue?
Well, there is a kind of, in the songwriting and in the music writing process, there is kind of a sad tone to some of the tunes, and also in the songwriting we have a lot of blues elements and a lot of country elements, and it fits our profile very well to be like have this kind of happy sad feel, and Felix is kind of a happy kind of, it means happy, or
in Latin I think it means happy. Felix.
Yeah,
So it's like
Happy always sad.
Always Everblue. Yeah.
I think
And
it's genius.
And it started out with like we wanted to build a kind of a personality that like could be all of us at once, like an alter ego for the 5 of us.
Yeah, it's kind of opposite schizophrenia, you know, several people thinking they're one person. So that's kind of the
it's a
concept
good
behind
concept, It's really interesting. It's good to know what's behind it, because you wouldn't necessarily know that.
No, definitely not. And we hope to build on that, of course, in the future.
Yeah,
definitely.
We're trying to build a whole universe around our band,
around
and the music,
Felix.
and around Felix. Yeah.
Well, I've been to almost all of your concerts, besides the Tech Rock competition where you went in the finals.
In Copenhagen.
Congratulations for that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think it was a great achievement. One of the first concerts, right, that you had, and you got so far away.
Yeah,
it happened very early on, and we went through the initial rounds, and you know, it was a cool experience to play in the DR concert house.
It was a big stage and very nice sound.
Yeah, definitely.
It was just a wonderful experience.
And how was the audience reaction when you did that? Was that the biggest crowd you'd played to?
I think one of the biggest. We also played like during here in Aarhus during the
during
festive week.
Yeah,
and
there was also like
a big turnout.
more than 150 people or
Yeah.
something like that. It was around the same. It feels like a lot of people when they're standing close to you, and yeah.
Yeah, but it's a cool experience, and again, like it's very different from playing like smaller bars or different.
Yeah.
Like the sound is just so much more grained. For
Yeah.
instance, at DR, like and
Yeah, we wouldn't mind playing there again.
Definitely not.
hopefully
That's
in the
a
future.
great stage.
Maybe next year.
Yep.
Maybe you win the
Might
battle.
try again.
Yeah.
Don't know. Maybe we will be a bit further than that. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Well, I know that Matthias was writing songs like forever, for many years. How many years?
Well, it started with guitar. I've been playing guitar since I was 10, and during that process, my guitar teachers often, told me to also sing along, and it gave a lot better feel with the songs, like to sing along. And from there, it just kind of, I built up on that, and I learned how to sing, and it's been going on since then. So since I was 10, it started, and I think I wrote my first song at around 12, 13 or something like
It's
that.
a long process until you
It's
get
a very
your
long
music
process.
out.
Yeah, definitely.
So when you were, just starting out, what kind of music were you listening to at that time? What was inspiring you?
I was obsessed with like old rock music, like Eric Clapton. I also listened a lot to like Nirvana and Metallica and these kind of things,
Yeah.
AC/DC, Guns N' Roses, and Aerosmith, like these kind of types. And we take elements from there. Our music is a little softer than a lot of that, which I think fits our personalities a lot better. Yeah, but that's kind of what inspired me, especially Eric Clapton, for instance. Had a big impact on me.
Yeah. It's amazing. I always think it's like, if, it doesn't matter what age you are when you start and what era it is, what, decade it is, everybody who starts is always listening to the old music,
definitely.
the old
Yeah.
masters like Eric Clapton, Jimi Hendrix, and,
Yeah.
You
It
got
just-
a lot of roots of
AC/DC.
it, right.
yeah.
I also feel like the music had a lot more like personality back then.
Yeah.
It was just and also there were fewer artists available on the market. Right
Yeah.
now it's just an overflood of artists and new numbers, and you switch much faster. Back then you were listening to records, and like I think I listened to one Eric Clapton album for like 1 or 2 years, like almost every day, just
Yeah.
listening to the same songs.
Yeah, right.
I know someone that does that with Tom Petty now.
And who might that be? Actually, I do it with Doyle Bramwell as well. He's amazing. I don't know if you guys know him. He's
I've heard the name, but
Yeah.
I'm not quite
Yeah.
You
sure.
say Donald.
well, he was
Donald.
playing with Eric Clapton
yeah.
as well, and Erykah Badu, and he's a good guitarist as well. Yeah.
Alex, I'm very impressed with your guitar playing.
Thank you.
And I heard that you don't play guitar for so long. How long has been since you actually took the guitar in your hands?
It's not that many years ago. Like I was in a dark phase of my life, and I had too much time, so I kind of just picked it up out of boredom. I think my friend was living with me, and he had a guitar, and I've been trying to learn to play guitar before, but this time it just felt right. So I think it was about 6 years ago now. I was 19 or something. I know a lot of people start when they're 10, 8, 9, I don't know. But I just played very intensely. And I listened to a lot of music around that time that just inspired me so much regarding to the period I was in my life. And it just inspired me to keep going and practice every day for hours, 8 hours a day, sometimes weeks. And pretty early on, I just felt like I wanted to play with people. So I don't think I've played for more than 3 years until I met Matthias. So it was just very fast that I started to make my own music from when I started to play guitar, which is what I think gave me the leap to kind of not get stuck in just playing other people's music and developing my own. Yeah.
I think that's impressive, and it also shows to people that you can achieve a lot in a short time. I mean, it depends how you define short time, but I think it's a short time, and if you are dedicated and work hard, you're closer than you might think.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
I think people can learn this from you, and it's just admirable.
Thank you.
Yeah, definitely, and I also think that having like a band around you that like is competent and really like wants this as much as yourself is really a gift.
It's really motivating. Yeah.
Yeah, to see that everyone rehearses from home and is ready for doing this is just it's really cool
Yeah.
to have. I know I appreciate it a lot.
I see you like a committed family.
Yeah,
and
we
that
are.
helps.
We are.
Yeah.
It's seen, it's obvious, and that's really great. And I could see it in your songs, and we can talk about the first song we're gonna play today.
Yeah.
It's called Better Man.
And yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Better Man. Yeah. It was the first single we
Yeah.
came out with.
Definitely, and it's a song like the songwriting is I'm trying to capture like the emotions I have during the relationship I'm in now, and I think that a lot of people can relate to this. That
Yeah.
when you find the right person that can make you achieve more things, like can make you kind of live that dream that you have inside your head. Yeah, so
I
that's
feel
what
it's a
try to
very
capture.
powerful like tune because it has so much building up in it, a lot of tension going on and sudden releases. And even though I've played it many times and recorded it and listened to it for hundreds of times, I still think it's a nice song, and that's special because sometimes you could just get sick of your own music if you just played it and listened to it for so long.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really like it.
Well, I listen a lot to it. No, I don't get sick of it. So let's listen to Better Man, Felix Everblue.
Can't get her off my mind. I think about her all the time. Her moves so sexy. One word and she gets me. She loves me, I know. Love comes, don't go. I need her, she knows. It's in her eyes tonight, they glow. She's her woman, and she has all I am. She's her own woman, makes me a better man. She's her own woman, and she has all I am. She's her own woman, makes me a better man. In her eyes, I just feel free. Man, her love makes me greedy. Oh, can't even help myself anymore. I'm a slave to this feeling. Whoa. When I'm high, out of my mind, as I fly around looking for something that I can't find. Lost in the night, off the radar, out of sight. Even when the inner anger makes me wanna fight, I'm living life easy, so feel free to be me. No needless obsession with control and permission. And needless to say, she gets all I am. 'Cause her love makes me a better man. I am. She's her own woman, makes me a better man, and I can't get her off my mind.
I Aarhus på FM 98,7 MHz og 89,5 MHz.
That was Better Man by Felix Everblue.
That was such a great song. I mean, it's really beautiful. It's recorded so nicely. The vocals sound great. Everything sounds really nice about it. And like your influences are kind of, as you said, you know, from a time when music wasn't so formulaic. So your kind of exploration comes through a little bit in that you're a bit freer, aren't you? Than you know. I think it kind of shows. Yeah, it's really nice.
Thanks.
Yeah, I don't know what to say about this song. I just feel narcissistic about it.
So writing-wise, Matthias, are you kind of responsible for the lyrics and
Yeah, mainly.
the
but-
melodies? And
Yeah,
what-
maybe I'm
what-
20%.
Well, you know, I get in doubt sometimes. I usually a good idea catches me somewhere. Like I feel it kind of strikes like lightning,
Yeah.
more than it is like. Of course, you can force it out and do like creative processes and this kind of stuff to kind of force it out. But still, like the best ideas I've had, I feel comes to like out of the blue, and you just I gotta write this down somewhere. You know,
Yeah.
looking for pen and paper and just and from that developing and bringing in the band.
Yeah. So then you kind of maybe record a little bit and then you play it to the rest of the guys.
Usually
and
he shows me an idea first.
Yeah.
He has like a line or 4 lines, or maybe just a guitar part that he's been singing over, and I go back to my house and maybe we don't see each other for a couple of days, and then I come back with a idea based on what he showed me,
Yeah.
and we kind of try to make up like
To broaden it out, you know,
Yeah.
Yeah,
like to
exactly.
integrate the.
and then
the
we have
different
this
instruments.
idea that at least we can play and show like an example of, and we bring everyone else
Yeah.
into the process.
Yeah.
And because it's so hard to start with like from zero and you're 5 people, and everyone want to put their mark on it from the first step, and like you kind of need to let people come in with their own ideas and then build it up from there.
Yeah.
So you have
A
you have
vision
something to go
already.
after.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's easier when you have some sort of a foundation for team working on
Yeah.
upon.
So you guys have been working together as the core for 3.5 years or so.
Yeah.
So Silas, what has it been like for you coming into that situation, and how much creative input do you feel you've got?
Oh, it's been it's been quite a journey, as I said earlier. It's it's been fun, I guess. It's a word for it. It's been. I think I've always felt like that's the kind of thing that I wanted to do, but at the same time I've been doing other things and not doing other things, just playing
you
my
in a-
guitar for fun. I used to go to pubs and bars and.
Yeah. So were you in a band before that, or were you?
Well, I am still in sort of another side project, but as we all know, any musician would know that side projects and another project and another project, and you got so many things going on. But
Yeah.
for now, this is sort of my main
This is your
thing.
main
It's
one, yeah.
and it's really, and I think it's been funny to have my own influence, as you mentioned. I mean, it's a bit. I've never been used to. Okay, now you got to write a solo, and it's gonna you have this much time to work with, and
Yeah.
we're gonna need it.
Yeah.
Maybe
it's-
soon,
Yeah.
please,
It's a good
if you
challenge.
can.
But it's a nice
It's been a
pressure
fun
to
challenge
have, yeah.
and a difficult one, because even though I think I know my instrument,
Yeah.
it's that's a new one.
Yeah.
I think that's important too, you know, that we try to push one another back and forth, like in the band
Yeah.
also, you know, like always try to develop each other's competences. And
Yeah.
definitely.
Always try to challenge each other.
Yeah.
That's going to push you forward, isn't it, everybody? sort of makes everybody rise to the occasion a bit more.
Hopefully,
Yeah.
Agreed.
that's
Yeah.
the kind of culture we're trying to build anyway. Yeah.
That's cool.
Well, I always thought that the best bands in the history were the best because they managed somehow, they were lucky to find each other and fit together. Because I do think there are a lot of great musicians out there, but once you find that family that you can commit to each other and be great together, then you have a huge chance to succeed.
I see it more as a relationship actually. Even though we're that
Yes.
many, it's something that we really have to build on, and we have to have these deep talks sometimes. Of course we have to play the music, and we're all eager to get playing, but it's important also to be quiet and to talk to each other and to plan and to organize
And fight
voicings
sometimes.
Compromise.
and discuss and fight and disagree.
Yeah.
It's an important part of any process, I would feel.
And drinking as well, like.
Yeah.
Do you think are you?
And making pancakes.
That doesn't sound very rock and roll.
Yeah.
Well, out those pancakes, I gotta tell you. You don't know what's in them.
That's true.
Maybe you don't know either. Like, it's just
Actually, when it comes to things, you brought the pancakes.
Yeah. I'm not
So
telling you what's in there.
You gotta know.
Yeah. So.
That's great. So, are all you guys from you're all in Aarhus now, but where are you all from? Different places, or?
I was born and raised in Aarhus.
Okay.
So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm from Skanderborg originally, a little town
Okay.
called Stilling, actually.
Very close.
Yes, and I'm from something called Bjerringbro. It doesn't sound very good in English, but it's like, 40 kilometers away from Aarhus, I think.
Okay.
Yeah,
So you're all pretty local, really.
Yeah.
pretty local, yeah.
And our bassist is also from Aarhus. I think his family lives out in the suburbs, but pretty close.
Yeah.
And what about Marcus, the drummer?
He's moved from Horsens, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. He used to live down there. He's only lived in Aarhus for a couple of years.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
he
the
moved
youngest.
here with his
Yeah.
girlfriend.
youngest.
Yeah.
And he is the most recent addition to the
He
band,
is,
isn't
yeah.
he?
Yes,
Yeah.
Our drummer,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and he's excellent.
Yeah.
He's hilarious and he's excellent and
Yeah.
he fits right in.
Yeah.
That's great.
He-
Puts in a lot of great positive energy.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
He's
Like,
really
He's
nice.
always so happy, and if you had a bad day, you can just look at him. He's always smiling,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it brings a lot of energy, and
Yeah.
and it's just great to have that energy as well. Because when things get very serious, it can get a little harder to move along faster, and it definitely helps with some fun input.
Yeah. I can
We all
imagine
have
that.
different roles and it just has to go around somehow. So nobody feels like they are left with all of the responsibility for something.
Yeah.
We all do our part different ways and yeah, it works very
I
well.
think you're an amazing
That's
band,
good.
and yeah, you already know I'm a fan. So
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, and now I'm a fan as well. So
Lovely.
it's two
That's
extra
great,
fans.
yeah.
Great to hear.
I'm number one fan.
Oh, yeah.
Want to compete?
Of course, no, I would never.
You can't. I will destroy you.
I'll stay out of this.
Happy to have fans
Yeah.
fighting over who's in the front row. So your next song released on the EP is called Conditional Love.
Yeah.
And yeah,
It was one of the first songs that we actually wrote together, me and Matthias, and completely finished, polished, and gave all the love. So yeah, it was really satisfying to get that out there and to show it to people.
It's an 8 minutes song.
It's a very long song, this song, yeah, and we kind of built the song, this is not a song that is gonna be, it's not easy listening, it's not that acoustic guitar song that you just take around a bonfire. It's a song that you every time you listen to it, you find something new or a new element, and the further in you come in the song, the more intense it gets, and it is kind of storytelling, in song format. And I think these days it's so much about everyone wants unconditional love and feels entitled to it. I think it's a cool way of looking at it, conditional love, because I feel like most situations there are conditions in relationships and in all these kind of things. So that's kind of what we wanted to talk about in this story.
What sort of accepting that conditional love is
Yeah.
the
That it
thing
exists
you,
like that, you know, that the world is not a Disney movie where you know happily ever after happens just like that. It's a process, and yeah, definitely.
Is it true that the songwriting started actually with not wanting the conditional love? It was based on another idea
Yes,
that
definitely.
developed.
It was like the song is written as the like very reflective process that you go through when you say, you know, I don't want any conditions in love, and you think about it for a little while. You know, we all have conditions. There are limits to almost everyone's love, you know, that you can cross.
Yeah.
And I think that's important to also realize as a person that you have conditions, you know, that you also have standards, and if you expect to put other people up to standards, you should also be ready for their limitations and standards.
Yeah, I think that sounds quite sensible, and it's nice to hear like such you know, the thought processes and kind of depth behind like songwriting as well.
Yeah.
So
What I've learned from this song is that you can have conditions anyone has. I have a condition that my boyfriend shouldn't hit me, for example.
Sounds fair.
But what?
Sounds like a fair condition, yeah.
your standards are high.
Yeah. What I actually thought of in this song, and we will listen to it soon, is that sometimes we put conditions that are a bit too high, unrealistic. We can't expect someone to do things they don't enjoy just because we want them there. And for me, it's more like reflect on what's the balance between a realistic standard where you can also get to that level and not having someone just around for whatever standards you put. Like, if you are not like that, I'm not going to be with you. And that's fine. And just don't be with that person. And I love having to listen to, I love listening to songs that teach you something. In the end of the song, you realize something. And
Yeah,
even if
hopefully.
you knew, maybe you knew these things, you remember them, and it's good to remember things because we forget.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes as a songwriter, you might write something, you know, a year or two ago, and then when you sort of listen again, you get new realizations about what it actually means to you, and it's like music is a real constantly moving
Yeah,
thing, and
definitely.
it sounds like you guys are in that, you know, where you're exploring and you're experimenting, and your music has like a kind of movement to it that's
Definitely.
It does indeed.
ongoing.
Yeah.
Definitely, and
Hopefully.
You're creating value.
Yeah.
we're
It's amazing.
we're also, you know, it's also a process, you know, as a band to figure out where do we shine, kind of, you know, because you have a place where you want to go, and then you have, you know, the tools that you have available in terms of voice and playing and all these kind of things, and that's also what we're exploring in this song, like through voicings, for instance, and I hope everyone's gonna enjoy that.
Yeah, well, we can find out.
So let's listen to Conditional Love by Felix Everblue.
Darling, can you love me like it's not my fault? When love is demanded, we are bound to fall. If I do good, you love me. Is that how we live? Honey, it seems that there is something you miss that I don't want to. Guess what? I don't need you. Conditional loving. Conditional love. Conditional feelings, conditional see me like I am, or are you seeing a day for a man, or do I need changing, customized to your needs? You're man in the making. Oh, is that what this is? I guess I don't wanna know, and I guess I don't need you. Conditional loving, conditional love, conditional feeling, conditional love. Oh yeah, 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 moonshine. You got me thinking. Oh yeah, sunshine. We've been drinking and smoking and fighting and choking on this conditional love. It's a whiskey I'm drinking, drowning and sinking into this conditional love. Ah, moonshine, you got me thinking. Oh yeah, sunshine. We've been drinking and smoking and fighting and choking on this conditional love. It's the whiskey I'm drinking, drowning and sinking into this conditional love. The darkness is lonely. Darling, are you there? I thought I was set free, but then the smoke cleared. I'm trying to be honest. You know that it's true. I heard you guess that I got conditions to I guess that I want you, and I guess that I need you. Conditional loving, conditional love.
til din lokalradio i Aarhus på FM 98,7 MHz og 89,5 MHz.
Wow, that was really impressive. I feel that with this song, you have to be patient for the best part when it comes like after the half of the song. It's just so great.
Yeah,
It
we try
lifts
to
you up.
build it up the whole way and kind of make a climax and then pull it down again.
Yeah, but
So
also
you
like
can take it back
leave a
up.
treat for the patient listener.
Yeah.
They want to dive into the music, because as we talked a little bit about before, there are so many artists out there, and it's very short form right now. Like it's 2, 3, maybe 4 minutes for songs usually,
and
and
then it's long.
yeah, and that's a long song, So we kind of wanted to, be disruptive in this kind of way, because everything else on YouTube is kind of getting longer and longer. Like podcasts are getting longer, everything else is getting longer, because people want to listen to good stories, and this is kind of a story, And it's if you listen all the way, you're gonna get it like that.
That's great. It's interesting you say that because I think people have been saying for quite a long time now that attention spans have been getting shorter and shorter, but maybe there's a kind of backlash now. Some people are going, hang on a minute, I want to focus on something. And in which case, it's a good time for doing an 8-minute song, isn't it? Because
Definitely.
you can-
But I think
It's
we're
gonna
going to
happen.
experience that,
Yeah.
Because in 2 minutes, like if it's a discussion or if it's, political news, whatever, all of it is just, it's going to be too short to really dive into something. It's just going to be keywords that
Superficial.
superficial that doesn't even describe the thing correctly. And I think we need to have that patience both with music and with discussions and with
Knowledge
each other.
in general.
Yeah.
Everything.
I think there's so many facets about things now that unless you can focus and give your attention to it, you can't really get the overview on certain things of life and society and anything that you're interested in. You have to give it some focus, don't you, to understand it?
Yeah,
Agree.
some careful thought.
Yeah.
Sometimes things needs reflection, and you can't make everything so fast. It's just it's gonna be uninteresting in the end,
Yeah.
and not very meaningful as well.
Yeah, it's a good philosophy when it comes to music as well, and that's how it is with you guys. And so we were talking a bit about the vocals on that track and saying how good they were, and everybody was involved in the
Everybody's
singing.
actually
Everybody's in
involved
I
in this.
just made it to do a little bit of backing vocals to this particular song.
Yeah.
The first one, Better Man, I wasn't a part of that at all, but so I just got to be in the studio with the guys. So yeah, the next one
Yeah,
I really
indeed.
Right on fire.
might be a bit more important part. But
So that was the first time on that last song. Was the first time you were in the studio with the band? Then that's the first.
it was,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay, that's so that and you were.
Yeah, I'm walking
That's
around
quite
the studio
a big
asking,
song
what-
to
what-
come in on.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. But I mean, it was pretty much finished when I got in. But I got to do some of the backing vocals, which is something we use a lot and we care a lot about and work a lot on. It's sometimes hard work, but backing vocals really gives
Very
a nice
important.
dimension to the songs.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and it's gonna be even more in the future. Like it's our vision is something similar to what Kansas do with Wayward Son, or
That's
like
great.
a lot of different songs like that.
Yeah.
It
The
has
Eagles is a
very-
great example.
Eagles as well. Yeah.
Of
vocals,
everybody
just-
singing, and when you're in a live situation, you're all singing as well.
Yeah, and not just singing along, but having different voices and
Yeah.
and applying it the right way, so you make it sound just great instead of just being there. Like
The
so
music is
hard.
really in that way an example of how we kind of are a family. Like the voicings like are a symbol of us, and it sounds a lot stronger. When it comes out as harmonies than a single voice.
Yeah. Yeah, because you're actually making arrangements, not just following the main vocal, but having your own different parts, so the arrangements are more interesting.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. So
And do you all contribute to that writing, that arranging?
that is a very messy
Yeah.
creative process, because like just as you throw out every time you write a song, you throw out some other songs like to get to that point, and it's the same with voicings. Just for every song we make so many different voices and like test them out, see what works, and it's just it's never what it was to begin with, and it always becomes something new. And
Yeah. It's also a big puzzle, I gotta say. I mean, you get this really good idea, but then something clashes or something doesn't work, and we have to adjust it. It's an ongoing process all the time.
Yeah.
Definitely.
That's
Sometimes you
right.
can even like play something and practice something for a week or two, and until you get it recorded and you're actually able to hear it back, you don't really know if there's anything wrong with it until that point. So right now, that's where we're trying to focus. It's just as fast as possible to get our own recording of the song, so we know exactly what's going on and we can listen to it and make sure the harmonies are great.
Yeah.
Even like start out with a messy recording, that it doesn't have to be
Just get it
perfect
in.
in the beginning, but like to work a lot with recordings, even like just mobile recordings of a line or a guitar piece or something like that, or voicings, when you have the idea, when the lightning strikes, kind of.
Yeah, and I get that when you are singing it yourselves, you can't get an objective view on it, can you? So I guess
No. It's a
you're
bit hard.
demoing at the moment, aren't you?
Yeah, we are. We're trying to make our own little practice room demo with all the songs that we've been playing out this summer. We have about 8 numbers that we have been playing, and we just needed to record them to be able to get everything right for when we're going to the studio and make the proper recordings.
Yeah.
So that's what we're working on right now.
And you composed this song, one of the first, when you met Matthias.
Yeah.
That was around 3 years ago.
Yeah.
That means that you made that genius solo guitar only 3 years after you started playing guitar
Yeah,
in
basically.
your whole life.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Thank you. Yeah. I tried to sit down and not just write a solo, but make some melodies over the chords, which is what I try to do in pretty much everything. Even in my rhythm guitar playing, I try to build up melodies in the chords instead of playing the whole chord or playing power chords or something.
Yeah, and we also talked a lot about like making making the solos so that you can almost sing them.
Yeah,
kind of like
exactly.
Well, I
you
do.
can sing.
You're
you can sing along
spot
to
on.
the solos. Like it's a very important element, when you have a beer in your hand and you're an audience to one of our concerts, you can shout the solo as loud as you want, and have a good time and play air guitar and this kind of stuff. It's important.
Yeah.
To have something that sounds good, but is still, it's possible for people to follow, because I really do believe that music is for not only the ones on the stage, it's, the people. Sometimes people even get, your lyrics in the way that they interpret them. So even though you're singing one thing and you mean one thing, they understand it totally differently,
Yeah,
So
that's it.
I think it's a lot about integrating the audience, also in the guitar solos and like how we write them.
I mean, it's good because you're putting thought into it, because a lot of, I would say, lead guitar solos are just because they can be that, and they're fast and they're
Show off,
technical.
kind of.
But when you've got the sort of mindset of creating something that's very melodically strong, then you're hooking people in, aren't you?
Yeah.
With it.
That's
a
what
bit
we're trying
more.
to do, yeah.
Yeah, that's the intention.
Yeah.
Let's see if it works.
Yeah.
And so, so Alex and Silas, you're both playing guitars, and are you sort of splitting the lead and rhythm between you, or is like one of you doing more?
I
of-
think that's a good way of saying it, yes.
Yeah.
We, I mean, we have this song, and I'm gonna do a solo on this one, and Alex on another one, and sort
kinda
of put the
go
chords
and go.
differently.
Like maybe Silas has a great feel about these chords, and he feels he can write something great over it, and I'm like, it's not for me.
Yeah.
And another song is the other way around.
Yeah.
So
It also comes from the different inspiration sources. I feel like you have very different attitudes towards playing guitar. And
Yeah,
very
I think
different-
so. I'm really a jammer. I used to go to jams and even jam along with myself mostly, but
Well,
going to
join our
jams.
jam on every Thursday.
Right. Yeah, I should do that.
Yes, definitely.
That's a good
Marcus is there always.
Yeah. Michael.
Yeah,
Your drummer is there. You should be there.
yeah.
I'm gonna do that soon.
Well, just like all of you can come and play like a couple of songs.
can
That'd be
play
I
Yeah.
don't
nice.
want him to outshine me. Nah.
So your last song on the EP, the last released is called Wonders of Paradise.
Yep.
And it's a song that asks questions but not answers. Questions that everyone has, right?
Definitely, it's very open-ended. Wonders of Paradise. It is in general, just wondering what happens to us after we die, and it's not. I'm not trying to give anyone like putting 2 lines under anything and saying this is the correct result. I'm just trying to like expand your thinking. Anyone might be right, anyone might be wrong, kind of situation. And it's. I feel like a lot of people are bashing each other for either being religious or being non-religious or whatever it is your beliefs are. And
I would say that it seems to some people and that maybe they don't even have those thoughts. So I think it's a good idea I think it's a good wonder to have, to think about what's going to happen when you die. And some people seem to, at least, or don't dare to discuss the whole topic, which is a shame.
I feel like the whole thing is also about making people realize that it's like making them pressure life, because you don't really think about losing what you got till you think about when you don't have it anymore. So I think it's a good way of like becoming to appreciate life when you start to wonder about death.
Yeah.
And also, what I think is that you learn how to accept different beliefs.
Yeah.
That is not only your belief that is the one that is true. You might be wrong.
Yeah.
Everyone can be wrong. And that's what I'm taking from the song, that you can question everything, but you can't have an absolute truth.
Definitely. And, for me, I think that the more diversity we can have in all these things, the better, then we can learn from each other and adapt to each other, and instead of having to fight each other over
Beliefs.
anything, over beliefs, if you can believe whatever you want in my eyes, and as long as you let me believe what I want to believe, and what's right for me.
And it's interesting because, like you said, a lot of people don't even stop to think about those things, and so they never question their lives. And then, it is a good way of sort of keying into that appreciation for life itself, isn't it? And
I think sometimes, thinking about death and accepting death, like for what it is, can also help you live a stronger life, and to realize that the things that you want to achieve in your life and the goals and dreams that you have,
It's all on a limited time. Like,
definitely, and you have to push to reach your goals.
I mean, that's even a message for ourselves, that we can't sit up on our high horse and say, okay, we know that you should think more about these things. It's not like that. I mean, sometimes I gotta wonder about this myself. Okay, am I gonna spend a whole week watching Game of Thrones again, or am I gonna do something else? I don't know.
yeah, right.
Finish that solo that you have.
Yeah, maybe that's what I should be doing.
Yeah.
So this song is about being more productive. Yes. Oh.
And death.
And death. Yeah.
That's one way
Life
of
and
putting
death.
it. It's it is wonders of what happens afterwards.
Yeah.
Wonders of Paradise by Felix Everblue.
What if we invent eternal life, and heaven turns out to be real? Would it be as happy as the other side? Would divinity be concealed? I wonder if I'm ever gonna fly with a jetpack through the skies. I wanna see the skies turn to space through my own eyes, and glide, slide off the stars as I break free. Cut all ties to human life and mortality. Tell me, Will I ever see this paradise? What if we stop working for forever? Trusting death to judge us through beliefs. And in the end you find no punishment. It's just nothingness for murderers and thieves. I wonder if I'm ever gonna fly with the angels in the skies. I wanna see the skies and heavens collide. The slide of the winds as I break free and cut all ties that tie me down. Oh, and misery will tell me, will I ever see this paradise? Cut all ties that tie me down. Oh, and misery will tell me, will I ever see this paradise?
Would be good to be true.
Well, that's my favourite one, actually, of the three today, definitely. I love that. It's so lovely. It's definitely got that kind of Eaglesy, type of sound and a little bit country-ish in
It is a little bit
places as
country,
well,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So it's really beautiful.
Yeah.
And great vocals.
We try not to restrict ourselves to one genre, so
Yeah.
it gets a little broad sometimes, but it's bluesy, country, rock and roll feel,
Yeah.
kind of.
I was thinking about the songs we do, and it's pretty much consisted that 1 out of 3 we got an acoustic guitar on. So, that fits right with the 3 songs we've been listening to today.
Yeah.
And our EP, we also try to, show that we are a diverse band, that we can do a lot of different things, and, and Conditional Love is a little longer, a little harder listening, I would say, but, once you listen to the end, you get a reward.
It's
and
rewarding.
Yeah.
Wonders of Paradise is a little more easy to listen to, but it has that cool country, kind of easygoing kind of feel in it. And, it just kind of shows our palette.
Yeah. But I mean, even though you say it's like a little easier, it's still got a very profound kind of lyrical message. So
when I say easier, I mean more soft.
Yeah,
and it's not
sort
8
of
minutes,
music
obviously.
itself.
So
Yeah, it's not 8 minutes. Yeah. No, I think it's great. I mean, a great collection of.
Maybe
of
you would
sweet
have been 8
songs.
minutes if you had to answer the questions.
yeah, I think we would
It
have
would have
done
been
over
like
time.
half an hour
That's an
song.
idea for a song right
Wonders
there.
of Paradise Part 2.
Yes, answering the question.
Yeah,
Multiple opinions.
definitely.
So people can find you on Spotify, YouTube, iTunes, SoundCloud, Facebook, what else?
Apple
Definitely.
Music,
Apple Music. So
Yeah.
basically
Tidal
everywhere.
things around
Tidal,
it.
SoundCloud.
Yeah.
So all platforms.
Also, if you want to have if you want to follow our concerts, you can follow us on Facebook.
Yeah.
And on Facebook, we're gonna post all the things that's gonna come on YouTube. We didn't start that much yet, but we're gonna put out a lot of live sessions, for instance, are gonna come on YouTube. And basically, Facebook is gonna be the center of all this. And if you want to see a little bit of what happens in the studio and in our rehearsal room. You can follow us on Instagram.
Oh, great. So a little bit of behind the
Yeah,
scenes.
we have a,
Yeah.
a homepage as well.
Yeah.
You can check out.
Yeah.
FelixEverblue.com, right?
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Otherwise, just Google the name. We are
Felix
pretty
Everblue,
original with that
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
So
Well, I guess you're pretty original with your music as well. I mean,
Thank you.
I understand that it's rock and roll and you have influences from the past, but lyric-wise and voice and the whole connection you have between each other, it makes an original music. So,
Yeah.
original
We
name,
hope so,
original
yeah.
music.
Definitely.
Everyone follow them on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, SoundCloud.
Please.
Everything.
Yeah, everything.
Just go there.
It's easy. Felix Everblue.
Yes, definitely. We're gonna love having you.
Well, I'm a fan. I say that all the time.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And thanks so much for coming in, guys. It's
Thanks
just
for
been
having us.
really
It was our pleasure.
interesting
Yeah.
to
yeah,
hear
definitely.
about the songs and about the band.
And we should definitely do this again in the future.
Definitely,
You are
yeah.
working, constantly
Maybe-
working on new songs.
Yeah. Maybe play a little song in here.
That would be
Yeah.
great. I mean,
Yeah.
especially the last one would be
Yeah.
perfect, wouldn't it, as an
Yeah.
acoustic
Yeah.
We
song?
got some.
Why didn't we do that?
And you also,
Next time.
well, a bird told me you also have a Danish song that you play,
We do actually.
right? And it's quite
yeah.
popular in concerts.
It
Yes,
is,
it does
actually.
get a lot of.
It's called, directly translated, Take What You Want. And it's basically just about doing what you want in life and not holding back and taking chances. Yeah.
That's
It's
what
gonna,
you're doing.
It's gonna come out in a live session, most likely, soon.
Great.
Looking for a we should start planning it just after.
Yeah.
Yes,
It's easy to sing along to as well.
Yeah.
Hint, hint.
Or even if you're
I'm
not
gonna sing the
Danish.
solos.
Even if you're not Danish,
if you're not
I think it might
You
be.
can sing it
Yeah.
without being Danish. At least the chorus.
Yes. Yeah.
Try saying "Tag hvad du vil have."
Teva du vil have.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
perfectly.
Well,
That
Sue's
easy.
playing, Sue's playing one Danish song in her gigs.
Oh, but it's
It's for Evit.
embarrassing. Yes.
It's not embarrassing. It sounds quite
Actually,
cool.
I do
was
like
impressed.
the song, and it's very
I was
popular
impressed.
with the crowds.
Which one is it?
Yeah.
It's for
Recognizable
Evit.
lyrics.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah, I was impressed when I heard it.
What did you call it?
For Evit by
right.
Volbeat.
Volbeat. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
That's cool.
we are becoming Danish more and more.
Yeah, integration is happening.
Yeah, Danglish.
We're glad to help.
Yay.
Thanks.
Thank
Yeah,
you so much
thanks,
for having
guys.
us.
Yeah.
We
Awesome.
appreciate it.
Good job.
We will follow you on all your platforms. Felix Everblue.
On the street, we'll follow you on the street.
Well,
We're gonna have to talk about that.
I'll be close. And it was a pleasure.
Cool. Yay.
Likewise.
Good luck and see you at the jam every Thursday. Don't
Thank
forget
you.
about us.
We won't.
We won't.
We'll be there.
At Theater Katten, so you know,
Yeah.
Katten,
We'll
right?
be
How would you say it?
Theaterkatten.
Theater Katten. Yeah.
Theater Katten.
Yeah.
Theater Katten. Yeah. Thanks everyone.
See you soon, guys.
See you soon.
Bye.
Cheers.
Would it be as happy as the other side? Would divinity be concealed? I wonder if I'm ever gonna